We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom, they'd kill you, your wife, and your kids. And that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound a nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
I ain't never felt like that before, and I want to feel that again.
It's just a raw emotion.
They left us being loved and being honored for the heroes that they are.
We still have 40,000 injured troops.
If you threaten our people and our way of life, we will find you wherever you may be hiding, in the place you feel most safe, and we'll kill you in your own bedroom. Thank you for being a country worth fighting for. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources, Boss Blinds, Caltech, Tico Field Service, Double J Ranches, CBT Charities, and Christmas for our troops.
There's just a magic of being down here.
It would prove to be a hunt that went up to the last morning. A hunt that would test Terry Johnston's patience and resolve. And it couldn't have come at a better time.
Paula, my wife, has a birthday next week. And for me to come down here, one of the deals we made was she could go celebrate her birthday in Las Vegas, and I would celebrate it down here hunting. I'm used to seeing a lot more deer on this ranch than what we'd seen this afternoon. Just saw a handful of deer, and I'm used to seeing lots of deer, lots of good deer. The weather was sticky and muggy and hot.
Terry spent all deer season watching other people take big bucks from the hill country to South Texas. He's here at the Shiner Ranch, and we'll follow Terry on a hunt that takes him from the lowest low to the highest high. Also, I guess they felt sorry for me, but they bailed me out, and I gave them some stock in the company. And years later, one at a time, as they got older, I bought those guys back out of the deal, so I ended up owning 100% of it. But, you know, without people that believed in me and trusted my judgment, it would have went under like so many other businesses have. This is Terry Johnston.
Terry? Yes, sir. I'm Greg.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. He is the founder of the idea of taking the soldiers on hunts. That's what he does.
Is that right?
This is our 10th year. And he's got a TV show and everything. I do the voiceover for him.
I take Terry to meet more Texas ranchers to set up more hunts for American heroes. Only thing is, Terry sits me down for a tell-all sort of interview. I'm a little sheepish to say it, but I finished the 10th grade. that's as far as I went. The story of something that began on my kitchen table back in 1975 and grew into the largest whitetail organization in America. Stay with us for this special edition of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes. This portion of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources.
Shiner Ranch, located south San Antonio in the South Texas region of the state. It's a very historical ranch. Goes back, the history on its goes way back to the pioneer days.
Forget everything down here either sticks, scratches, or bites.
I've been bringing injured warriors here for the last 6 years and got to see the operation, see the kind of deer they had, and I really look forward to wanting to come down and get one of their deer. Every time these guys bring a deer in, I'm proud for them, I'm excited for them. It's an awesome experience for everybody, but in the back of my mind, a little voice says, one of these days I got to make time to come down here and hunt one for myself.
Show of Support founder Terry Johnston joins hunting guide Henry Manger on the Shiner Ranch. It's late January and already warm and muggy, even by Texas standards.
The ranch is a huge ranch. It extends many thousands of acres and on both sides of the highway. We went to a side of the highway I hadn't been to the 6 years I've been coming down here. But we went over there because they had sighted a 10 point that they thought we ought to go try to look at. So we were hunting a part of the ranch I've never been on, getting to see new country, and my expectations were high.
Henry's cure-all for buck fever comes down to a 2x4.
You got a guy that gonna shoot. If he can get a stable arm rest, it makes all the difference in the world when he's shooting downwind, because you've got a good stable rest with your elbow.
The side effects are better shots, deader deer, and less tracking. You see, Henry's been in this tower blind before that looks out across a huge oat field, a place that can stretch your barrel and test your nerves.
The other thing that this thing's good for, if you miss your deer, if you're making too much noise and run them off, it gives me something to kind of whoop on you with a little bit.
Thanks.
It's kind of like getting control of your grandkids sometimes. You gotta dump them on the head a little bit.
I do have a nickname, Two-Shot Terry.
Two-Shot Terry?
Yeah. And I earned it, trust me, I earned it.
The first decent buck they see moves in close to the blind.
Looks like a pretty good deer. Deer's got real long brow tines.
Good mass, he got a little everything, tall rack. Finally spot that first deer, it's a good sign, maybe things are fixing to happen, deer movement's fixing to happen. We had one deer make his way out into a clearing. From my past history of hunting down here, being down here, that's just a good sign of things to come. I had high hopes, look forward to this hunt, but we needed to let this one walk. Look at him some other year.
The mature buck seems to be out of sight. Henry takes Terry to the most likely places that are slowly becoming most unlikely.
The weather was warm, cloudy, muggy. Just was having to hope for some weather change, something to happen quick.
As the days pass, the warm weather seems to be hanging on.
Not only that, we're at the tail end of the rut and the bucks are tired and hanging up in the brush. So it's amazing how many deer you can look at and how long you can sit in a bind and still hold out hope that a deer that you're wanting to shoot will come on out. But there's just so much time that I want to spend watching deer that they're too young to shoot, too broke up to shoot. I'm hunting. I want to find something we can shoot.
That's another thing Terry has to face, hunting so late in the season. The fights are over, and the impact of the rut can be found in missing times.
We left the blind last night. I knew I had one more hunt the next morning, and wasn't holding out hope unless the weather changed. Wasn't that cool when we went in for the evening, but still thinking positive, something could happen.
A buck that sends Terry Johnston's system into overdrive as Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us. Closed captioning for Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Boss Blinds.
You know, we're in the middle of January right now. Things have slowed down after the holidays back home. Here at the ranch, they're pretty much winding up their hunts. We've got guys coming in just in a couple of days. We'll have 4 men coming in that we're going to take out and try to make an experience they'll never forget. So it's just a great time for me with the lag and business, the lag and everything. Just take a couple of days, get on down here, get set up, get ready, and get a hunt in for myself.
It's Terry Johnston's final morning, and for the first time, daylight comes with a nice, refreshing chill in the air. Hunting guide Henry Manger says it's subtle changes like this that can trigger movement in the mature bucks here at the Shiner Ranch. Terry and Henry both study this buck, and they're about to argue about his age, when even further away, something else grabs their attention.
Oh, look at that. That deer got my attention. I was at full alert. He comes in slow, he takes his time, he stops, he's looking over all the area, checking over all the other deer. He's in no big hurry. So I'm getting kind of worked up. This buck's a buck I'd really like to shoot.
Henry's theory seems to have worked. No telling where this buck has been for the last few days. The buck with a split brow tine joins another group of whitetails. Terry takes his time finding the perfect broadside.
He must be carrying pockets full of protein feed back to the brush for him, bribing them, because they sure won't get out of his way.
It's the darndest thing, because they just surrounded him. We had probably a window of a few seconds where he was broadside, and before you know it, he's swallowed up behind all these other deer.
Yeah, we've got him moving off to the left-hand side, kind of getting out. I mean, the right-hand side, kind of getting out by himself.
Yeah, I've been in position for quite a while by the time he moves away and gives a clear shot, and I'm ready to take advantage of this opportunity. So as soon as he steps off to the right of the group, I click my safety off and I'm ready. And when his shoulders are pretty lined up, then I'm ready to take him.
It's clear now anyway.
I'm fixing to take a shot.
Go ahead. Well, he's got blood flying out of him. There he goes. He's getting short. He's getting shorter. He's getting shorter. All right, Terry.
You made us earn that one.
Good deer. Good shot. Good patience. He was getting shorter and shorter and shorter as he was running, and he might have made it to that tall grass over there, but I don't think so. He got right behind the tree, and then I kind of lost him, but he was...
Had it dead center of his shoulder.
He was, he had a pretty bad leak in him.
Getting out of the blind, I couldn't wait to get down there and see it. Hadn't had an opportunity to hunt all this year. This is my first and my only hunt for this year, so just had a special meaning. Yeah, there's... Okay, now walk. He went this way. Oh, he curved. That's weird. Look how it just quits. Everything about this deer was something I've always dreamed of. I love hunting South Texas and the ambiance of what's down here, but this deer, to me, typified everything about a South Texas hunt. You think he went that way?
Right there.
You see?
Yeah.
Down to the wire, and the last morning of the hunt, Terry Johnston processes the memories of the last few days here at the Shiner Ranch. It finally feels like hunting weather, and it finally feels like the long days and short nights have been worth it.
Oh yeah, there he is. Holy cow. Look at that. Look at that. Deer like him, I'll mount him. I've got an office that has a spot that's exactly where he's going to go.
Congratulations, Terry.
Thank you. That is one heck of a deer. Dang, he's heavy. Love how that
that's cool.
kicks back.
Makes him so unique.
Yep.
That's you know, they're all different. Every one of them's different.
I'll remember this hunt forever. More importantly, I'll remember it because of the 4 men that's going to be coming in a couple of days. Also remember it for all the men that have been here before, all the men that have been on all the other hunts. I want to take a second just to say thanks. Because of what the men and women of our military do, this morning I was able to sit out there and enjoy one of the best sunrises I've enjoyed in a very long time.
This portion of Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources. You know, it rained day before yesterday at Castroville. It's the annual convention of the Texas Deer Association, or TDA. It's here where I'm trying to help Terry Johnston secure more locations to take more American heroes on a hunting trip. Terry's organization, Hunt for Heroes, has grown much faster than Terry thought it would. You know, and his big deal is taking these guys on a hunt. When they come back from war and their mind is beat up, their bodies are beat up, sometimes lost a limb or a leg. Terry's idea was to take these guys hunting. And he's got his own TV show now.
Yeah.
And that's why he's here. We're going to shoot some footage for him. I can't exactly remember when I first laid eyes on Terry Johnston, but I think it was probably at the Hunters Extravaganza. My relationship with Terry started 10 years ago when he first had the idea to take a veteran hunting. I credit him with creating the very first program for helping wounded heroes experience deer hunting. When he asked me to be the narrator for his television program that helps generate awareness, I signed on for no pay. Little did I know he'd make me tell my story for the very first time. You know, early on in life, I figured that I needed to make up my mind what I was going to do for the rest of my life. It was the mid-1970s. I had no money, no savings to speak of, but I did have an idea. Back in those days, I'd always admired what Ray Scott had done with bass, Bass Angler Sportsman Society. And I just figured, you know, he's got a kind of a specific creature that he built an association for, and I just didn't see why in the world the same thing wouldn't work for people that love to hunt whitetail deer. And so I created something called Texas Trophy Hunters Association. Little did I realize then the magnitude of that simple concept. I've been asked from time to time, what made you dream this thing up? Did you have some kind of schooling special? Did you go to school to be an entrepreneur? You know, how this deal get started? And I'm a little sheepish to say it, but I finished the 10th grade. that's as far as I went. But the first magazine was 32 pages long. It wasn't much at all. And I remember, man, going through some hard times. I remember Trophy Hunters almost went under. And 6 businessmen that I knew in San Antonio, Texas, loved what I was doing. In fact, they were kind of my mentors, people that I hoped I would be as successful as they are. And I guess they felt sorry for me, but they bailed me out, and I gave them some stock in the company. And years later, one at a time, as they got older, I bought those guys back out of the deal, so I ended up owning 100% of it. But, you know, without people that believed in me and trusted my judgment, it would have went under like so many other businesses have. The magazine has grown as well as the organization. Several years went by putting out quality magazines and television programs. Then 9/11 caught the world off guard. 9/11 was followed by the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it was soon after that that Terry Johnston felt the need to do something to help the guys coming back home from those conflicts. It's been a good feeling lending my support and my voice to the show's Support Hunt for Heroes. Terry Johnston has furthered his dedication to the men and women of the American military. He says there's no stopping now. And to be truthful, I don't think I could have done that. Terry credits me with starting a statewide hunting organization, but that doesn't hold a candle to the show of support efforts that have changed so many lives.